Hi everyone, and welcome to my little lesson on how to use GameMaker. Today we're going to be making a fairly straightforward game where you have to catch some fruit and get some points. But if you click on a bomb, you die. Just to show you an example of what the game looks like. Take a second to do. Oh, sorry, I'll show you the game, then I'll take you through how to do it. So the idea is basically you click on the fruit, jumps, you can score. Lots more bombs appear. Different fruit gets you different points. So we get cherry. Oh, I'm not very good at this clearly. So, and then when you click on a bomb, blows up, you die. And you get points. You get points. You have to escape and the game starts again. So that's the basics of the game. Excuse me. Now the basics of GameMaker. So this program, it is free to download. Your version might look slightly different to mine. There may be a tutorial over here on the side. There may be different options here, but essentially it's fairly similar. It should be similar enough for you to figure out. So basically the game. So here is the room, and the room is basically the level. At the moment we only have one level. So there's the game as you saw it before. In that room, there are different objects. Now an object is basically something that has code put in it. Most objects have sprites, which is the picture that it looks like. Right, so these are the sprites up here. They're pictures and that's about it. They don't do anything else. But an object here, for example, object apple, this is the code for object apple. And I'll take you through how all that works in a minute as well. So, okay. Background, the wood background there. And there are sounds which you can't hear on this recording just because I've got headphones here. But there's sounds that play as well. Now, to actually go through and create this, I'm just going to go new. Yeah. You might get something coming up here when you first open it about advanced mode. If that comes up, just say, make sure advanced mode isn't ticked. You don't need all the extra stuff that it does at this particular moment. So, the first thing we're going to do is to make a new sprite. A sprite is just that picture. So, there's a couple of ways to make a new sprite. I can go, resources, create sprite. I can do control or shift control and S. I can click on this little Pac-Man picture here, which will create the sprite. Or I can right click on sprites and go create sprite. All those different ways to do the same thing. Now here's the box. In sprite you have to press load sprite. Now hopefully your screen will come up with this. Otherwise you'll have to go and find where these are stored. Normally it's C drive, computer, C, program files, and then you have to go down to GameMaker. GameMaker. And sprites, there we go. Now the sprites we're using today are in tutorial 1. Okay, so you double click on that, and here they all are. So you need to get all of these sprites. So here's the first one. Now name. When you name things, because this is basically programming, there's some really good habits to have. Now this is SPR underscore. You can't leave a space because it can confuse the computer. So sprite underscore apple. So SPR underscore apple. Then you just say OK, and that's that one done. Then you go through sprite underscore, we'll call it block. Load sprite and get the wall there, and that's done. For now, I'm just going to do that. Now you go down to objects. Same thing with making new objects. The resources, create object, or Control-Shift-O, or you can press the blue dot, or you can right click and go create object. So I'm going to make object apple sprite. Now I want to pick which sprite I want it to have. Sprite apple is what I'm going to pick. I want it to be visible and I want it to be solid as well. So now we're just going to say OK. And I'm going to, sorry about that interruption. So we need to make a new sprite for the wall. So create object, I call it object wall. Now sprite block could be called sprite wall, it would probably be a better name, but that's the one you're picking. And just saying solid. Okay, so for now you say OK. Now, next thing, we need to add a room. Create room button, resources, create room, or right click, create room. I'm going to do this one today. Now, to make life easier, we need to change these width from 16 pixels wide and 16 pixels high. Now, a pixel is a very, very small unit of measurement that computers use. So each one of these squares here right now is 16 pixels high and 16 pixels wide. We want to make them 32. So 32 by 32. Now you'll see the blocks are here, so objects. You can click in this space here and choose which object you want. I want wall. I'm just going to go around the outside. At the moment I'm just clicking one at a time, or I can hold down Shift and just drag my mouse across like so, and fill in the outside of the thing. If you put somewhere you don't want them, all you have to do is right click and drag it across it. The next thing, I need to get my apple. I'm going to put a couple apples in. Yeah, we'll make the game harder later on by putting those things in as well. Now, if I check the room, I press the run button here. So it runs. Alright, at the moment it's not very exciting because there's just the room. Alright, so that's because we haven't programmed the apple to do anything yet. So we just press on this close button and it goes away back to this. We now need to open up the apple object. So now how the code works. How the code works is there's basically an event, and when that goes here, there's lots of different kinds of events. With the start, we're going to say create. So that means whenever the apple gets created, we want something to happen. And we want the apple to just move around the room in any random direction. So we're going to use this button here. So these are all on here are the different things that you can program it to do. So I'm going to say move. I want it to move in any direction apart from the stop button. And we want for the speed of 5. Now, relative. At the moment, we don't need to press that. What relative does is it checks what the value was, so it sees how fast it was going. And if you tick relative, it will say it will add whatever the next button is there. So if I now play that, here it comes, and off they go. Now, so the wall didn't stop it. So now we need to put an event that tells the apples that when they hit a wall, they need to do something. So that's add event. We're looking for a collision. So it's a collision between the apple and the wall. Now, when it hits the wall, we don't want it to stop. We don't want it to blow up. We want it to just bounce. So we are going to see, there it is. In move, right down the very bottom, the button here is bounce. Move backwards. Not precisely and only against solid objects. That's what we want. The other thing we want to happen is we want to score. Actually, no, we don't. Not there. We could. Probably wouldn't make much sense. Let's run that again. The other thing we probably want to do is when there's a collision between two apples, probably want them to bounce as well. Collision between apple and another apple, we want you to bounce. Doesn't happen that often. Now, next thing, when you click on it, we want it to jump to a new spot and start moving it. So at event, you want mouse left button, we'll say left press. So when you click on it, you want it to jump to a random spot, so go to a new spot, and snap to 32 by 32. You want it to then start moving again. You want to go a little bit faster because you've caught that. So we're just going to say go, speed of 2. So it was going 5 before, right? That's where that relative button comes in. We're going to tick relative, so it's going to say it was going 5, then we're going to go 5 plus 2. Right? Okay. And the last thing we want to do is score. Button here, we're in the score tab, we want to set the score. So let's get 10. Right, and we set it to be relative. So every time we click on it, it goes up. Let's try running that. Oops, it went somewhere. The first one didn't work very well. It went somewhere a bit different. Jumped out of the screen. See how it's going faster though? Sometimes games glitch out. Right, it's going faster and faster. Right, now we need to go and add in the extra fruit. So, create sprite, banana, sprite, right? Okay, that was all of them. I might do the bottom one on here. Oops, sorry. Strawberry. Okay. And I will make the bottom sprite as well. Come back to that, but I'll make it now. Right. So, there's that. Now, create an object. Surprisingly enough, this one is going to be object. Another solid. Okay. Actually, there we go. Object berry, and get the strawberry, and create object cherry. Okay, and object. Okay. So, oh, you'll notice here I haven't picked the sprite for cherry or for bomb. So back to here, yeah, cherry, solid, okay, and bomb, solid, okay. Right, now I need to do the same thing as I did with the apple for the banana, the strawberry, and the cherry. Now, the strawberry, so it's that event, create, move. So now our apple was going at 5, so I'll make this one 6. So it's just that little bit faster. Second apple, we just go and have a look at what we did. We say collide with ball, bounce, collide with apple, bounce. Oh. So while we're here, collision with berry. Bounce. Add event, collision with banana. Bounce. Add event, collision with cherry. And bounce. I might just let it go over the top of the bombs, I think. Alright. Now, with left press, I'm actually just going to highlight those, right click and copy them. The reason being, I want to go to back to banana, no, back to cherry, strawberry. Right. Add event, mouse, left press, and then I just want to paste them in. Now, difference is, cherries are slightly harder to get, so they're worth 15 points. Alright, so now if I go to banana, add event, mouse, left press, same thing, I just paste those in here, 20. And banana, now let's do cherry. Add event, mouse, left press, paste, 25. Right, that was good. Now, let's just go back one at a time. We'll go back to strawberry and make sure we get everything right. We don't have any collisions in here at the moment. So we'll say add event, collision with ball, bounce. Okay, add event, collision with apple. Oh, hang on, no I don't, because I've done those collisions everywhere else. Yeah, so I don't need to do that one, sorry. Delete that. I will do add event, collision with another berry, bounce. Okay. Now the only thing I do want to fix here is so it starts again. Okay. Because it starts going a little bit faster. We might keep that at 2. So that one's pretty well done. Let's do bananas next. So banana. Let's see, I don't have the creative in here. Create. Now 5, 6, this one's 7. Okay. When you want to change, yeah, that's right there. So that's okay. Add event, a collision with the wall. We want it to bounce. Add event, collision with another banana. We want it to bounce. Okay. But I think that one's okay. Cherry. Add event, create. We want you to go around the face in the direction. 5, 6, 7, so that makes this one 8 because they're harder to get. Alright, okay. Add event, collision with the wall. Bounce. Add event, collision with another cherry. Which will bounce as well. So I go to the room. I pick a banana. I'm going to pick a cherry. Strawberry as well. And I'm going to say play. Well, this makes this easy to catch, doesn't it? Right, I've clearly made a mistake. And that's okay. Mistakes are fine. They're part of the learning process. You have to look at things and figure out why they're happening. And I think I might know. So let's close that. I'm going to go and try and just say solid. Turn that off. Make sure banana's not solid. Okay, very solid. I think this is why. Make them all not solid, apart from the wall. Run it again. Okay, now we're just going through each other. It might just be easier to have it going through each other, I think, guys. They're going, they're speeding up. Good. So, that just showed me that that didn't work as I expected it to. So, what I need to do is not confuse things. I'm just going to go back and say, delete the collision with the apple, delete the collision with banana, cherry, cherry, sorry, and just leave it like that, okay? So I've just got to go through and do the same for these. Alright, that's part of the joy of coding. Sometimes you make mistakes and you need to go through and figure out why things don't work as you expect them to. Alright, next step, the bomb. Now, we want the bomb to just show up, basically. We don't want to put it in the room to start with. So to do that, I'm going to create a new object and call it obj control. And I'm not going to give it a sprite, so we won't see it. Right? Now I'm going to add event, and that's a create event. And when it creates, I want to use an alarm clock. Now this alarm clock isn't to wake you up in the morning. It's actually here. So you set the alarm, and you say, I want it to go off in 200 steps. So actually I might make it 100, make it a bit quicker. So that 100 steps is about 3 seconds or so. So in 3 seconds, it will, or 100 steps, it will set alarm 0 to go off. Now, that's where we're going to add event, alarm, and we pick alarm 0. And when alarm 0 goes off, what we want it to do is to create instance, but we want it to create bomb. Right? So that will just create the bomb. And then we want it to reset that alarm. So reset that alarm back to 100, and that will then just continue to loop around and create a new bomb every single time. Now, and then to put that into the room, that's just getting object control and putting it there. It's a little question mark. You can't actually see it back when you play the game. Now, in bomb, first thing, so bomb will get created in this spot every single time. And that's pretty boring. You'll know never to click there. But what you need to do is when bomb gets created, so I've gone to object bomb, I've gone to add event, create. The very, very first thing I want it to do is to jump to a random position. And we might snap it to 32 by 32. Just make sure it goes into that little square. It doesn't overlap with anything. Now, that's the first thing. The next thing we want to do is the mouse button. When we click with left press on the bomb, well, we want a few things to happen. Firstly, we want to destroy the bomb. We want the game to end. So we want to go to score, and we want to show the high score table. Alright, so you can just leave those settings as you can, or you can definitely change them if you'd like to. Alright. Then we're just going to go back to main 2 and we want to restart the game. Or the game just keeps going. Let's just try that. Here it comes. There's my first bomb. And if you get a second bomb, there's my second bomb. And a third one, and all these. There we go. Alright, I clicked on a bomb. There, blew up. I write my name, and click escape, and the game continues. Now, a couple of things. That's pretty good. Sound. Sound does make it better. I'm going to right click and go create sound. I'm then going to say load sound. In tutorial 1, it's an explosion. And there's music. And there's a click, so every time you click on it. So I'm actually going to select this one. I'm going to call it SMB click. Okay. I'm going to create a new sound, load sound, explosion. Explosion. Okay. And I'm going to create a new sound, and that sound is going to be called music. So that and load the music. I'm then going to say, okay. Now, to make these work, I'm going into Apple. Right. First press. All I want to do is say in main 1, sounds. I want to say, but I want to play sound click. And I don't want to loop it. Loop it means it continues to play. Right. I have to repeat that for all the other flutes. I've got, so, main. What did I say it was? Main 1 there. Choose click. Okay. But I'll let you do that. You then go down to object bomb. Instead of saying play sound click, I want to say explosion. Now, there's a problem here. That's the order. The order you put things in here are the order that they happen. It's destroyed. Fine. Show the high score table, restart the game, and play the sound explosion. You've already restarted the game. It will never play that sound. So I'm going to move the sound so it's the first thing that happens. It's click and drag. Last thing, object control. This is where I'm going to put the background music. Under create, I'm going to get the music. And this time, loop should be true. Alright, now, okay, clearly in my room I can go through and say I want more apples, I want more bananas, I'm going to put a few blocks in random spots, cherries because they're all lots. Alright, now when I press that, I'm now going to run it. Now you won't be able to hear the music playing because I've got headphones on. But trust me, it's there. Score's going up. I press a bomb and it's game over. Right, very last thing is a background. Right click, create background, load background. Tutorial 1, there's lots of different ones you could use if you want to. I might use this one. There we go. The black wood. Okay. I'm going to go to the room. I click backgrounds. I want to choose wood. There we go. I want to run it. Let's load now. There we go. And that is how you make a fairly simple game. Yeah, thanks for listening, people.